Now, 1.5 million people is just an obscene amount. Do you know what? It's a little bit overwhelming to know
Yeah.
that there's that many people watching me.
Spring is here, which means it's officially gardening season, and no one is doing it bigger than Garden with Johnny, who's grown over 1.5 million followers on Facebook alone. Between shifts as a firefighter, he's sharing practical tips, infectious enthusiasm, and reminding us all that growing things, whether plants or pages, should be fun. Let's find out how he does it. Hi Johnny, welcome to
Hello.
the feed.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Thank you so much for being here. So tell us about your journey so far as a Facebook creator.
It kind of started by complete accident. Now, I wanted somewhere where I can post my gardening journey, my photos. I like to bore my friends and family with photos and videos of my garden. And I was really fed up with scrolling through my phone, trying to find photos of flowers and the development of my garden. So I just created this and started posting a few pictures and videos on my social media, on Facebook, with no intention to be a content creator. And I basically said to my friends and family, there you go have a look at my photos and my videos of my garden. Probably none of them ever did because they probably weren't interested, but it's what I love. I absolutely love gardening. And that's where it all started. And I really, really enjoyed it, to the point where I was like, I'm going to post more often. And it just went from there, really. That's how Garden with Johnny was created.
My gosh. So you have 1.5 million followers on Facebook. How do you think you've grown such a huge community?
Well, I class myself as a bit of a weirdo. Bit of a strange, you can probably tell by some of the content that I do. And I think it's just a really relaxed space where people can be what they want to be. I must admit, I like going into the comments. I like engaging with people. I join in with the jokes. And I think I've created a bit of a community within my space on Facebook. I think that's the best way you can be, is try and interact with your followers, and then they feel part of the community that you've built. I wanted to bring a bit of fun, enjoyment into my content, and that's what I think I've done. I think gardening sometimes can be intimidating. The amount of people that have bought plants, watch it die, and then think, oh, I'm giving up, I'm not doing it again. But with a few simple tricks and hints that I try and incorporate into my content, they can have a thriving garden, or even that one orchid in their house. They can watch it grow, and it's one of the most enjoyable things, and it's great for your mental health. You are out in the garden, outside in nature, and it's a place to be calm and relaxed. Now, I know my content probably isn't the most calm and relaxed, but that's where you can have fun in your garden. So that is what I'm trying to bring across with my content.
What was the actual point where you realized that content has traction, and I don't know if you're like looking at the analytics, but you're like, okay, like that's how many people there are, and you can kind of see exponential growth?
So with it hitting 1.5 million, I was just absolutely blown away, and it's just been on an upward track. And I think people just generally enjoy the fact that I'm just a normal guy. Now, 1.5 million people is just an obscene amount. So, do you know what? It's a little bit overwhelming to know that there's that many people watching me.
Yeah.
And I try and stay a little bit laid back, and 1.5 million is fine. But yeah, knowing that many people are following me is just incredible.
Mad.
And I very, very rarely get any negative comments. Like, the amount of positive comments I get is just incredible.
Yeah. I think there's something about authenticity that is quite undefinable. You know, with like, is there anything you'd say on authenticity and consistency that's maybe been kind of the secret sauce as well?
I would say try and stay authentic. Don't try and copy trends. I will always try and do things that, people haven't seen before, or just something off the cuff. What I tend to find is some of the best content that I do are my bloopers. So I'm always quite active in my garden. It's quite a physical way of content creating, and I'm constantly either hurting myself with the content I do, or I'm making mistakes with the way my scripts that I write, or I keep the bloopers, and it just makes me look human as well. And I think that's what people are missing out on. Sometimes people are thinking, oh, perfect, polished content, whereas I like when I mess up.
I love that. Again, that's the authenticity coming out.
Yeah.
So you are also a firefighter. How do you actually fit being a content creator around your job?
It is hard work. Now, I obviously I'm a full-time firefighter, and I would say content creation is also a full-time job, 100%. The way that I try and do my content is by batch creation. So I will put a day aside on my day off from firefighting, and I have a change of clothes where I change my clothes, and so it looks like it's a different day. Don't tell work, but I sometimes write my scripts whilst I'm at work as well. No one say anything, okay? And I will have that ready for the day where I batch create content. And I will write a list on my phone saying this is what you need to do. And the great thing about gardening is it's seasonal. So there's always seasonal jobs that we have to do. So it's quite easy for me to think of things and ideas for seasonal jobs. But then also I like to create the off-the-cuff stuff as well, and I'll write my list. And the great thing about Facebook is I can schedule that content even when I'm at work. So say if I'm busy at work and I'm out on a 999 call, I know that, say, 3 o'clock, my content will drop because I have scheduled that content for a particular time. Now, the great thing about the professional dashboard is it tells me when my audience are most active and when I can schedule that content. So it is perfect for me to go into the professional dashboard and find out. I can see that sometimes the fast, sharp content does fantastic. I can see that people are sharing that content and the algorithm is loving that content. So I tend to find that doing my short, sharp videos are sometimes best. And I try and incorporate them every 3 videos just to keep that process going. And I can find all of that information in the professional dashboard.
I don't know why I've never thought of that, but you've given me food for thought there. That's like the most genius, kind of obvious thing to do.
Are you calling me a genius?
I
will take that. With my content, I like a really strong hook. So I will try and catch people's imagination, have a middle, and then have a final punchline with anything that I do. And I think, I have also found that majority of people through the professional dashboard are liking my content at the very end. So they tend to get hooked by the hook, obviously. And then they'll watch it all the way through the end. And I think with my antics that I do with the comedy, then that's when people click and say, I like that content.
I was going to ask how do you come up with video ideas, and was it harder during the winter?
My account now isn't just gardening. It's now expanded to lifestyle. So I try and, incorporate things that I do at home. I'm a bit of a geek. I really like cleaning. So I literally film myself cleaning. Myself in the gym. I am absolutely a gym fanatic. So I incorporate my gym. And obviously outdoor in general, me going for walks, playing with the kids. And I've kind of turned my account, not only from gardening now, but it's more of like a lifestyle account. And I think that's what people can relate to as well. It's not specifically gardening anymore. And I've realized that people aren't now watching for my hints and tips. I think people are watching for me and my weird personality. And I love that. I love the fact that I feel like I can have the confidence to show my audience everything about my life.
People do love your sense of humor, from dad jokes to dancing. So tell us how you approach making such funny content.
I am so dry. I like being dry. I love making fun of myself. It's like a hobby for me. I think that's one of the reasons why I don't get any negative comments, because I'm already making fun of myself.
Yeah.
And it's just my sense of humor.
I think I remember one. There's a guy who you reacted to, was a baker, I think, because he slaps dough.
Yeah.
And he kind of was trying to be sensual. You can tell it's a bit thirst trappy.
Yeah.
And then cut to you slapping a bag of soil, and it just
compost bag.
falls over. Is there a reel that blew up that you didn't expect?
Yeah, so I've got a little bit of a story with regards to that.
Go on.
So I did a how-to lawn care content, and I was making it, editing it. It took me 2 days to make a lawn care how-to. And then whilst I was packing up, I picked up the leaf blower and I looked at it and I thought, I'm going to blow that in my face. I thought that'd be funny. So there I was, blew it in my face, and then my face just went like that. And there was other people that they're like mechanics that did it with like some sort of air compressor thing, and they blew it on the hair, and my hair went like Johnny Bravo, right? And I thought, oh, I'll incorporate that with theirs, like a little bit of a trend that was going on. And it blew up, absolutely blew up. Like, it was obscene numbers that I was seeing on Facebook.
What are we talking analytic-wise? Do you remember?
Analytic-wise, you're talking millions and millions and millions of people viewing this content. And it was fantastic, but I was a little bit annoyed. That took me seconds to make, where my lawn care content took me 2 days to make. So it just shows you, just record and make anything off the cuff and just post it. Don't worry about it. Just post it. You never know. It could go viral.
Where has such a big community on Facebook led you to in any other aspects of life in terms of actually being a creator?
So when it first started, I had a lawn care company get in contact with me and say, can we send you some grass seed? I was like, what, for free? And they were like, yeah, we can send you some grass seed if you just post a story. And I was like, what, for free? I didn't know what content creation was. I didn't know what an influencer was. I didn't know anything about brand deals or anything like that. I was just so new to it all. It's all happened by accident. And I thought to myself, I've made it. I've hit big time. Like, I've got some free grass seed. And then just one thing led to another. And now I've got a book coming out, which is Garden Yourself Happy. I've put a lot of time and effort into this book, and it's something I am so proud of. So proud of. If I looked back at when I was at school and to turn around to say that I'm going to be an author, there's not a chance in hell I would have thought about this. So the opportunities and the doors that content creation has opened for me is overwhelming and incredible at the same time.
At what point into the content journey would you say you started seeing things like brand deals coming through and gifting and things like this?
The grass seed that came through, that was fairly early on. So I think on Facebook I probably had around 3,000, 4,000 followers. So it can come quite early on. But now I'm just getting so busy. This year is going to be quite crazy for me. And, you know, I'm ready for the challenge, and I'm ready to work with other brands. And, you know, it's an exciting time for me. And, you know, I sometimes have to pinch myself.
What advice do you have for other creators?
Just be yourself. You know, if people can see a personality behind the content, they will like you even more. Like my content isn't completely polished. There's mistakes in there. It's quite raw, and I bring myself into the content. Don't try and copy other people. Bring your authentic self into your content. Try and obviously incorporate your education, but try and make it entertaining as well. Try not to be boring, okay, is one of the best things that I can advise people to be. Because if people just think, oh, it's just another how-to, there's that many how-tos out there now on social media. You want to try and be different and find your niche. And I think I found that by adding comedy into gardening. If I had 0 followers, I would still make the exact same content as I do now, because not only am I making content for people, I am enjoying myself and having such a good time doing it. And I hope people can see that in my content.
Well, that is amazing advice, Johnny. Thank you so much for chatting with us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Thank you for having me.
I'm sure those tips will boost your content and hopefully your garden too. We'll see you next time on the feed.